Hey guys, calling back again for another video. This one should be a little shorter, but anyway, um, I'm sorry for the lighting in here. I'm in my other room and there's only one lamp in here, so I had to kind of put a different lamp up that kind of bright, makes it really bright in here and stuff. But I'm here to show a couple of records and a book and some reel-to-reel tapes. I don't really have a whole bunch of stuff this time, so it should be a fairly short video for y'all. Um, but first off, the first record I have is Hank Williams, The Treasury. This is a 4-album set. Now, this was about $8. Now, something like this I used to could find in like half-price books, and sometimes it'd be $1, or in the thrift stores for $1. But this one was $8, but it is 4 records, and it has all of his hits on it. Now, he didn't have a whole lot of music, but there's the playlist right there. You might not be able, well, you can see that pretty good, I guess, if you want to pause it. It's all the usual suspects: Cold Cold Heart, Jambalaya, Picture from Life's Other Side, Mansion on the Hill. I've just always enjoyed Hank Williams' records. I mean, he's probably one of the first country singers I really listened to, because I think some of these albums may have been in my mom and my uncle's collections. Now, he died at a really young age. I think, was it 27, just like all the other, the 27 Club or whatever they call it. I can't remember, but they really should make a good movie about this guy sometime. I'd like to see that. You know, they've had the ones with Ray Charles, James Brown. There really hasn't been a good Elvis movie in a long time. They really should redo that one too. But I'd like to see a movie about this guy, and I can't figure out who would play Hank Williams. I just can't think of anybody at the moment. I know there was also a movie about Hank Williams Jr., and I think that guy from, you remember the Waltons? John Boy Walton played Hank Williams Jr., I believe it was. And that's it. I only got a couple records. This is the other one. You know, sometimes I pick up these oddball records. This one is called Gullah, A Portrait of the Carolina Low Country, with Dick Reeves. He's some old white dude. And Gullah, apparently, from what I kind of know, is a dialect in the southern states, I believe, spoken by black people. Now, this is an interesting record, but after I listened to it, I listened to half of side one. That's about all I could take. Now, when this was recorded, things that were said in this record were not considered racist, really. This is probably the 60s or 50s, I imagine. But this guy, he's a Southern man, and he's trying to speak or tell stories by these black people. Their dialect was called Gullah. But the way he refers to them in every way you can say who they are that you nowadays would be considered racist, and it would cause a big big old bunch of trouble anyways. I don't think I'll listen to this record. It just kind of pissed me off when I was listening to it. I'm like, why is this guy trying to teach that way of talking? It really should be somebody different. This would be quite a controversial record if it was released today. Anyway, that's that. I won't get too much into that, but that's one of those oddball records. I'll probably keep it just because it's weird, but Maybe somebody could use it for teaching a class or something, you know. This is the way these people thought back then, the Caucasian people or Southern Caucasian people. Um, anyway, that's all I'll say about that. And next, I got a book. I'm pretty sure I may have shown this before, Maggie Cassidy, but I just had to show it again. You all know what a big Jack Kerouac fan I am, and Maggie Cassidy, A Love Story. The bard of the Beat Generation reveals a startling new dimension to his personality in this brilliant and profoundly moving novel of adolescence and first love. Maggie Cassidy was no longer a girl, the vibrant, demanding, thrilling woman body of her splashed over Jack's. Let me start that over again, people. Maggie Cassidy was no longer a girl. The vibrant, demanding, thrilling woman body of her splashed over Jack's life like spring rain, warming him, coaxing him, pushing him into life. It frightened him, fascinated him, confused him. For the day he met Maggie, he saw the end of innocence, the last of childhood. This should be a pretty. This is one of his books I have not read yet. The copyright is 1959, and it's a little paperback. Once again, Jack Kerouac's gift for mirroring the sense and essence of an era, for catching the breathing moments of life, his uncanny ear for truth, all is richly revealed in this unique and nostalgic novel of a boy's first experience in love, of his exhilarating and bewildered search for the unawakened man still hidden behind the trembling, curious eyes of childhood. Now, that sounds a lot like me when I was in high school. A story on that, how I met my first love. Hopefully she doesn't watch these videos. I may have even talked about this before, and Connie, bear with me. I don't mean to bring up old past women or whatever. But I was a little skinny kid. I probably weighed about 90 pounds. I was a little skinny stick boy in high school. I didn't start blowing up till I was about 25. But anyway, I was lifting weights. Probably lifting 1 pound an arm or something. Anyway, but I just there was it was in a gym, like with the weight sets and all that stuff back then. And then there's a door, one of those doors that kind of swing open and shut like at a restaurant kitchen. And there's a little square window in this door, and I just happened to kind of look over. I don't know if maybe I felt like somebody was watching me or something. I don't know, but I looked over, and I seen a little face in that little window, and it was a little blonde girl. And when I was leaving class, she was waiting in the hallway for me. Not leaving class, leaving the gym, the weightlifting part of the gym. And she was waiting in the hallway for me. And I can't even remember what words were exchanged then. It's been so long. Maybe if I think about it a while longer, I'll remember. But anyway, that ended up being my oldest daughter's mother. And my daughter's 30-some years old now, one of them. And that's just one of the memories from that. High school days, y'all. And next, I have this reel-to-reel back here. And I thought I'd just show you a couple of reel-to-reel tapes that I have. Now, I came across this bunch of reel-to-reel tapes on these Shamrock recording tapes. I think there's about 6 of them. 6 of these Shamrock tapes, and this is just one of them. And whoever this individual was, they liked recording stuff off of the radio and television. And here they even have their playlist in here of what's on this tape. Track 1 and so on and so forth. This is approximately around 1972, because It has the 1972 Emmy Awards on it, and CBS Close Up, the bunch of news broadcasts, Dick Cavett Show, and Dragnet. And included with that was even a page from the TV Guide, Sunday, May 14th, 1972, and that's when the Emmys. It's got all the Emmy list of people there, and on the back is a list of television shows that were on that evening. But do you remember when this TV Guide used to be out? Everybody had this TV Guide for years and years, I remember, because there was no cable TV, so everybody was pretty much watching the same 4 or 5 channels they could get on the antenna or the rabbit ears, and you had to put foil on the rabbit ears and move them around to get your picture in, or run up on the roof and adjust that thingy without hopefully falling off, not falling off, or getting struck by lightning, that type of thing. But I find these interesting, especially when they write stuff in them that they may have recorded or whatever, and who knows if this person is even alive anymore. I was only 6 years old. 6 years old in 1972. And here's another one. This one's just it says audio tape, and this one has a bunch of music. September 1973, somebody recorded the Beach Boys, Good Vibrations, The Doors, The Fifth Dimension, Frankie and Johnny, and on side 2, Creedence Gold, Dave Clark 5, and Original Old Sounds. That's that. I haven't listened to this one yet. I've been just now getting to some of these music ones, and I've had this reel-to-reel for like 5 years now. You can kind of hear a whole low hum in the background. That's the speakers. And before I check out here, I thought we'd play some of this, the news that was on in 1972. We shouldn't get a strike on that, I wouldn't think.
35 for the metropolitan area, low temperature tonight. 82 as a high for tomorrow. 86 on Wednesday. Winds from the southwest, 12 to 16 miles per hour. So, for a couple of days, Tuesday and another couple of days, Tuesday and Wednesday, fair skies. And Carrie Richardson, Jefferson Elementary School, shows us what you do on a nice day like today if you're at mountain school, jump rope.
Thank you, Kerry. Doctors at Holy Cross Hospital in Silver Springs, Maryland, say the condition of Alabama Governor George Wallace is critical but stable. They say Mr. Wallace suffered several wounds in the chest and abdomen with spinal cord involvement, but they say he was conscious when he arrived at the hospital, that he is not in immediate danger of dying. The governor was shot just seconds after he stepped from behind a bulletproof podium in a shopping center in Laurel, Maryland. His alleged assailant was arrested immediately. We'll have the complete film report on the scene tonight at 10. The Defense Department today revealed that U.S. planes have mined rivers and canals inside North Vietnam, as well as the ocean seaports. President Nixon reportedly told the wives of 3 POWs today that the blockade of North Vietnam will continue until all American prisoners have been released. Prices on Wall Street creeped ahead today, with the Dow Jones Industrials managing to gain just a fraction of a point. Trading was down on the New York.
Well, that's just some of that. I thought you might want to hear some of that, what I've been listening to. I listened to this whole tape. Well, this is the whole news section of this. I haven't listened to the Dick Cavett Show or the Emmys yet, so I still got a lot to listen to on that. But I just thought that was kind of interesting. Thanks for checking in, calling over and out, and Weirdos Unite.